that just isn't familiar as fuck, then, you know, I don't know what it is. Pretty much last year, you know, when I had a JZ sitting in the shop, you know, like the one over there. So there was a JZ sitting in the shop, and there was an LS1, you know, and this thing, and it was running, and then it decided to dick itself, I guess. Was it September 19th or something like that? And you know, right before Driftoberfest every year, you know, it looks like I'm gonna have to swap a JZ in this son of a bitch again. But no, after Albuquerque, you know, it threw a belt, and it you know, kind of got a little hot, you know, and then basically got it cooled back down and got it running again. So I think maybe just the heat kind of got to it a little bit and dicked itself a bit. So, you know, now it sounds like a little bit of a rod knock. It's not terrible, but, you know, it's definitely there. So now I was actually showing it to somebody. You know, it's been on the lift since we got back. I listed the whole engine, tranny, and everything for sale. And, you know, the guy was here looking at it when, you know, started up, idled it, and went for a drive, and then I heard that, and I was like, well, shit, I guess I can't sell it to you. So, you know, I'm gonna have to pull it back out, try to freshen it up, and then, you know, we still might kind of have a deal. But yeah, so we're messing with the JZ on the ground right now. Jesse went ahead and kind of made a little wiring diagram of everything. So basically all the pins and stuff that we needed to power. I just hooked up all this, all these things right here, all the little connectors with a few little guys. Connected the ECU, grounded some stuff. It has an electronic throttle body crap onto it, but so I gotta push this thing in there. And so yeah, let's fire this guy up.
It's like keeps running. Oh shit. Taking out your camera here. Yeah, you can hear that throttle, dude.
Here, what does it do now?
Hey, it actually works.
Okay.
Yep, it works.
That's good.
Fuck.
Probably too much. Are you holding it open?
No, I'm not doing shit yet.
Okay. What's it leaking? Alright, stand back.
Damn. Shit gives it some fuel, huh?
Fucking really smells like fuel over here.
It's a homemade fuel pump system. See if you can just get it to idle.
I want you to hold the engine though.
What do you mean hold it?
Hold it. Hold it down.
I can do that.
And there is a
Fire extinguisher.
fire extinguisher right fucking there.
Alright.
Well, hold it and then
Hold it and what? Modulate the throttle? Or what do you want me
maybe. So we added another piece to the puzzle, the battery charger, you know. This is my little fuel setup. Basically tapped a little line into that and then just ran it to a filter, to an inline Walbro, and everything kind of comes on when I switch that thing, but as soon as I switch this thing, it's going to power from everywhere. But yeah, so let's Fire this guy up. Okay, so we have fuel, have everything else. So yeah, as you guys see, the engine runs pretty good. You know, smoked a little bit, you know, when it first started up, and then went away. There's a little bit of water in the turbos from when they pressure washed it, but they blew themselves out. So yeah, this is basically the setup. Right here, I have the map or the igniter grounded to the intake manifold, and then there's one wire that comes right off the ECU, this white and black one. Basically, these 3 wires right here on the end, those all get positive. Here's another, this little one right there that basically gives power to the ECTCSI or whatever for the throttle body. Right here, here's one, number 3 plug or whatever. That one doesn't get nothing. This one, this big wire right there, that's the starter wire. And basically all the ones right there in the middle, those are all, you know, positives. So I have those kind of connected right here to this battery cable. Comes off the starter. There's one other plug where there's one, that number 1 right there, there's one plug that goes into that. So they're all just clipped on here, you know, and the little pins just slide in there. Basically they look like that and just slide in there. So when I go to actually wire the thing, I'll cut these plugs off and actually just wire them in. But so I have positive going to the starter. Right here I have another little alligator clamp coming down to this fuel pump for the positive. I have it grounded over on the tranny. I just have the, you know, the battery box right here grounded right there to the engine. For the fuel, here's the return line going back up into the top of this thing. And then since this is an inline Walbro, not an in-tank Walbro, I had it feeding, you know, kind of down. So I took this old, basically a paint, you know, solvent can. I tapped that and just kind of screwed in a little 1/8 NTP barb with a little 90 on it. Ran that down here, you know, I filled this up with fuel to about right there. Ran that down to this little fuel filter, which that's inline. Technically that, you know, would restrict it if you're like in a boosted, you know, application, but just running on the ground, it's fine. You know, and it kind of adapted to the bigger hose too. And then just ran that straight up to the, over there, and it goes up, goes to the regulator and turns back. So yeah, it's got positive right there. Then, you know, like I said, this wire right here in the middle, that one goes to that big thick wire, that goes to the starter. And it's out of fuel right now. I didn't put that much in there, but basically just hit this, and it you could hear the throttle body, you know, clicking on and shit. And that's pretty much it. That's how I started it. You know, the wiring and everything Jesse went through, and he made a let's see. Basically the, you know, like I said, the number 1 plug, number 2 plug, we just kind of labeled them because they didn't actually have things. But yeah, so there was basically an input, output, input, input for the coils and the fuel injectors. Number 8, number 9. Like I said, that number 8 was the starter motor. Here's number 3. There's actually nothing that we plugged in on 3. That's just the alternator sense charge. Here's the one on the ECU. Those actually didn't go to anything, nothing, you know, that's just inputs for other shit. You know, there's a tachometer output. And then right here for the 60 connector, the far right one, it was battery power, ECTCS power, EFI relay power, ignition switch, connected so that, you know, I didn't even hook that one up because I don't need it. And then basically everything starred is what you need, and then switch battery, and then ground for that white and black wire that was grounded to the thing. And then pretty much as long as you ground the engine, you know, with the battery on there, and then the igniter, got that grounded. Yeah, shit, it fired right up. Just initially we first squirted it with some starting fluid, and then I was like, all right, well, let's just hook up a quick fuel pump setup. So yeah, that's pretty much how she runs. And then I would just take this, you know, and then just bam bam right there to start it, and then kind of hang it off out of the way. And the electronic throttle body and everything seemed like it was working all right. And yeah, shit, that was about it. So yeah, today's the day. I'm gonna pull out this 30-old LS, see if I can figure out what the knock is and how, you know, what I'm gonna have to do to address, get it all, you know, fixed or rebuilt or refreshed or whatever it needs. So I'm gonna go ahead and yank everything off. Since it's already up on the lift, I'm just gonna start from down below. Pull off the exhaust, you know, loosen the mounts and stuff, disconnect the steering linkage, take out the O2 sensors, then basically hook it, you know, lower it back down, drain the radiator, unhook all the wiring. I mean, it's crazy how many times I've done this already, but you know, I feel like I could almost do it with a damn blindfold on. You know how many times I've had this guy out of here. But yeah, so it's like 1:56 or whatever in the morning. We'll see how long it takes me to get her out on the ground. Turn the oil out, you can see the bubbles, but you could see how metallic-y that looks. See all the little specks and stuff in it. If I let it run over my glove, you'll be able to really see the. Well, you can't really see it too good in the video, but yeah, tons of little, you know, glitter. Not really glitter, but it's just really, really metallic-y looking. But yeah, and you can see over here on the drain plug, it has a little bit more shit than you'd want. Normally, you know, bearing material doesn't really stick to these because it's made out of lead and copper and all that other stuff, whereas steel actually sticks to that. So, assuming we got some wear somewhere, you know. But yeah, it's been about an hour or so, almost an hour, about 45 minutes or so. I've been getting everything hooked up. All got the exhaust off, the tranny drained, the driveline off. Got, you know, some of the little wires and basically everything underneath unhooked the alternator. Been dicking around cleaning oil pans and stuff, and you know, kind of organizing all my oil into one spot, trying to put it in the things to take it away. But yeah, so I'm gonna let this crap drain and unhook some other crap. I'm still just being lazy with this thing. Got the, you know, the coolant lines and stuff off of it, the little bypass thing. Just gotta disconnect the throttle body from the throttle cable and lower it down so I could pull the strut strut bar off and pull the intake manifold off. To do that, I'm going to pull the wiring out, then pull the headers off, disconnect the the belt, probably pull some of this front accessories and stuff off, and then yank it. But over here in the oil, looks like we were friggin' gold panning. So there's pretty much all the the big chunks that were at the bottom of everything. Like I said, I cleaned the oil pan out pretty good, but yeah, so it looks like some bearing material. Definitely got into some metal somewhere too, on account of the the drain plug, how the magnetic drain plug. There's some metal on there, so that's how you know it was getting into something not good. But yeah, it's about 3:30 or so, so not too bad on time. Like I said, I haven't been really rushing anything or super stressed over it. I've just kind of been taking stuff off, and moving stuff around and trying to take it off nice so don't mess anything up. Yeah, intake manifolds off, strut bar, all that crap, the mounts and everything are loose. I got the tranny mounts, I only got 2 bolts in it. I disconnected the shifter in here, took the little arm off it and the little boot. My whole clutch setup, I have to yank that thing off every single time because it's the base. I mean, I just leave it sealed, it's easier that way. But yeah, pretty ready to get out. It's about 4:13 in the morning. I'm just having a tea and a protein bar and maybe some Pringle, a little break. But yeah, that's should be out here shortly. Alright, so I found the issue. Got everything apart. Right here, here's one. Not that one. Where'd it go? One of these guys. Well, this one. Damn it. My damn phone's on the tripod too. Yeah, it was one of these guys, damn it. Okay, there we go. Here it's sloshing around a little bit. And the other one back here is a little loose as well. That one. Both wiggle. So, don't think it went too bad, because they, they're not all black, and crazy. So, I'm going to pop the caps off of them and check them out. So I got 2 of these connecting rod caps off, that guy off, and then this one over here. You can see right there the inside a little bit worn, and that's on the cap, not the actual bearing. So what happened is basically spun bearings. If you ever hear that term, basically what happens is you see those little notches right there. Well, there's these notches on the bearings that are supposed to, ride in there, and so basically what they did is they deleted themselves. You can see right there on the end where it basically flattened itself, and then where it's actually kind of squished the bearing a little bit wider, and that's where we were getting the knocking sound from. But yeah, so let's see. I have some other bearings laying around in LS parts. So yeah, you can see that little notch right there. That's what I'm talking about. So that notch basically goes away, and then they spin. So the bearing's spinning, and the rod's spinning, and the crank's spinning, and all the shit's spinning, and it's banging on each other, and that's basically where the knock came from. But yeah, I don't really think it damaged the caps too bad, or the rods or anything. It wasn't like it was banging and stuff for too long, and it barely ran at all. As soon as I heard it, I pretty much turned it off. So, but yeah, so it's, I'm not sure what exactly is going to happen, if I'll have to have the crank turned or just polished. We'll make sure it's all in round and stuff like that. Since it was knocking, it might not be, but maybe have the crank turned, and then throw new bearings and have everything checked out, and all that shit. But on this one, at least, I have another one that basically the first LS that I was doing the heads and cam, and I scratched the cam bearings and took it out because I didn't have a cam bearing tool, and there's an event, and put 6 liter, and that whole story. Anyhow, one of the issues why I didn't put that one together last time was I think I showed in the video, I pulled out this sensor right there. That's a cam sensor, and right here, there's a bunch of dirt, and it basically dropped a bunch of dirt down onto the cam and the crank and all that other crap. So the crank and pistons and rods and everything in that one are all good. All I really need to do is take it to the machine shop and have them, clean it out and double check everything. And then that one's basically going to get put back together. Put the heads, a different cam, different intake manifold, the T56 and all that other stuff, and I'm still supposed to sell it to the guy. And then, put this, 2J guy in there with the 370Z tranny that I've had forever, just chilling, and hook that in there and give her a go. So yeah, this was that original LS1 that I scratched the cam bearings on. You can see right there a little bit, and then right there. It's a stupid light would quit doing that. But yeah, so scratch the cam bearings, getting the, when I was initially doing the heads and cam, I think I did heads and cam. I think the name of the video was like heads and cam install everything. Something always goes wrong or something like that. But yeah, scratch the cam bearings and then put the 6 liter in there. Because there was like an event, or I forget what it was, but basically this had to be pulled out anyhow to get the bearings in there, the cam bearings. But so yeah, I got it all stripped down. And basically another reason, why I'm not just throwing cam bearings in it and, putting, all the heads and cam and stuff out of that one. In this one is I pulled out the sensors, right there on the back or the bottom or whatever. And one of those right there. That one not so much, but you can see over here on the, well, not on this side of the crank yet. There we go. Got all that dirt and shit. So I'm gonna, clean everything off. All this stuff will be nice and clean. And then I'm gonna have the block hot tanked, so that thing will basically be brand new again. The cylinder walls in this thing are like a spring chicken. This motor only had like 60,000 miles on it, whereas this one had like around 100 or so. But yeah, so that's the situation with that. So I should be getting this thing fixed up here soon. But yeah.